What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I would say I'm back for real this time because I've been busy with a lot of things going on. I had my own businesses that I was working on. I had to go back to school a little bit, so yeah, I was not really did not have time to YouTube, but I am happy right now. I am back again and I'm ready to give you more content on my channel after all this while with the COVID and everything else in between. So yeah, channel for my old subscribers and my new subscribers. Yes, 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 click that button right now and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, let's start our story time. So today's story time will be about my experiences when it comes to braiding my hair. The moment I transitioned to, but I think by then I hadn't transitioned to being natural. I was still relaxing my hair, and I was maybe in between 17 going to 18 then. So I remember moving to a new place, like a new area, because like I was living in another area. So like we built a new home to a new area. I was moving with my aunt and my brother. So the process of moving away from home and going to a new place, like you don't know no one, you have no friends, you have literally nothing. So for that fact, we actually moved to this new place I'm actually living right now, and the place was like, there used to be scattered house then, so you could not find a close by shop, you could not find any, you could not find any closed services around, so you like have to ask people so as they can direct you where exactly you want to go. So when I moved here for the first time, I didn't know anyone, as I said earlier. So I had to adjust to everything. Like the marketplace was far away. We call it gang. It was very far away. Shops as well, they were far away. So also the salons were here, but the thing is, like, you don't know anyone, so we had to like try different areas to find a good hairdresser to do my hair and my aunt's hair. Speaking of which, now getting to the actual story, it was like in between noon per se, and went to this, like, it was like 5 minutes walk from my home, so we had to walk like 5 minutes to the hairdresser. So we went there. As usual, they received us well. There were so many people in there, in surprise, like you can't be surprised to find so many random people in a hairdressing salon. It's actually very normal, but like some people have nothing to do there, they just sit there and do nothing. So we went there as usual. We sat down, like they asked us what actually we wanted to do with our hair, and we told them what we wanted. So speaking of which, as I was saying earlier, I was still not yet transitioned to natural as I am right now. So she washed my hair as usual. It was okay. I just washed my hair. I didn't want to condition my hair then, so I just washed my hair and I didn't blow dry my hair. I just left it that way. So it was halfway. It was natural, and like the top part was already relaxed. So it's like, I want to take some time to wait until my next session of relaxing my hair. So we started braiding. It was all okay. I sat down. She started braiding my hair. It was all good. We braided for like, I would say 2 to 3 hours. And then this hairdresser started telling me, like, in Swahili, she was like, unajua sija mpikia mtoto, kwa hiyo like I have to go prepare some food for my child. I was like, okay, you know, it was fine for me because, you know, I was trying to get to know people, trying to get used to people, but like I didn't like the fact that she asked me that, but like, you know, she already started doing my hair and I could not like leave and just go away. So she went to prepare her child's food. That took almost like 1.5 hours. And remember, my hair was braided like this angle, like right here. So like we have probably 5 to 6 hours waiting. And she just asked me to do to go cook for her child. So it was okay. I waited. And then by that time it was like my time to have lunch, so I had to go for a lunch. So I ate my lunch. My aunt was also she was going for her hair to be relaxed, so I had to wait for her. Now the funny part is, yeah, as I was waiting for the hairdresser to come over, she had an assistant who was doing my aunt's hair. And my aunt was already, she already relaxed her hair, and she was waiting for another session, so as she, after the relaxer is done, she could wash her hair and go to the next session of conditioning her hair. The assistant had no water to wash my aunt's hair. Now that even was worse. Like her head, her scalp was on fire and there was no water around for her to wash her hair. So I asked the assistant, like, why don't you have water? I mean, this is a hairdresser salon. We were expecting water is like the main essential ingredient, like you should have 24/7. And she was like, you know, we have water issues, like we have this like we don't have enough water around here, so like we have to fetch, like we have to take like we have to buy water, or either go walk for like 3 to 4 minutes from here is when we get water. My aunt wanted to like burn off. I mean, with being told like the girl had to go for like 4 to 5 minutes to fetch some water. I mean, I cannot lie, it was not a good experience at all. So me as well, speaking of me as the main person of this story, as I was waiting and my aunt was burning, it's not funny, honestly. She had some bruises later. I would explain how it was, but like in my experience, I was feeling sorry for her because she was burning her scalp. At the same time, she regretted even doing her relaxation that day. But long story short, let's go back to me, yeah, the actual person of this story. So as I was waiting, the lady came back after half an hour. She was like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry it took so long, and you know, I promised to braid you quicker so as you can go home earlier. And I was like, okay, let's just continue, because like with my auntie's situation and my situation being in the same state, that's not gonna happen. So so we went on braiding. We braided for like, so it was around 14 hours, and then we braided for like 3 hours later. She came with another excuse of going to attend her child's needs of changing her diapers. And I was like, girl, like you can't do this to me. You asked me half an hour ago, like in the midday, don't you have someone to help you out? Like I'm your client right now, you should attend to me. you're wasting so much time, and I can't just sit here waiting for the air to like pass on my scalp, as the bottom part is also burning, like her hands. I did not explain this part. Like she had, I would say, her hands were too tight. I mean, my braids were too tight. I mean, she used to tie my braids way too tight that my scalp could not handle it. And I told her, like, you don't have to be too tight with my scalp, because like I cannot do very tight braids. But the fact that she did not listen, it became worse. Like if you stay longer, like you feel the air flowing through your veins on your scalp, burning, and I could not tolerate that. So it was not a good experience, honestly. So she asked me again for the second time that she needed to attend her child's needs by changing her diapers and preparing her the last meal, I mean another meal of the day. And I was like, I mean, don't you have your schedule organized? Why do you have to like request every 3 to 4 hours for you to go back inside? And she was like, you know, I'm a single mother, like I have to do all these things by myself. I used to have a house girl who used to help me, but like right now she's not in town, so like I have to do all these things. And I was like, can I wait for another maybe 2 hours? I mean, that would be like 8 p.m. my time. I am hungry, I am tired, like everything, you know, my scalp is on fire. And I could not tell her, because you know, if you start talking, she might tell you like, you should, I can't do your hair anymore, like you could go do someone else. Like I already started and I was halfway to finish, but like she was wasting so much of my time. Oh Lord, how will I explain this? How will I explain this? So I told her, like, you know what, I can't let you go back. Like she was like, you know, I have to do this, like there's no one here to help me, and my assistant, she's married, she has to go back home. And I'm like, how? And she was like, I'll be quick, like I will not take long as the way I took in midday, so like it will be quick, like short, 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll be right back. So she went back in and prepared some food for and changed the diapers of her child. You know, at some level I felt sorry for her, but like still, like I wanted my hair get done. Like, you know, I can't just sit there and wait for someone. I mean, that's your personal issues, it's not my problem. I came as a client, I needed your services, so you have to attend to me. Otherwise, like next time I will not show up at your doorstep because you don't have good services, I would say. Attended her needs as usual. I had to wait. Yo, my head was like, you know, I felt like I wanted to undo the hair, but like it was all good braids and stuff. I could not undo that. I could not. I just had to be, I would say, patient. And since then I've wasted so much time already, like I just had to wait. So she went inside, she did her needs, she attended her child's needs, and then she came back. So we continued. I remember finishing braiding my hair at around 11:30 almost. That was almost like midnight, 30 minutes to midnight. And she asked me like, do you want to tie your hair up, because like I feel like it's all heavy. And I was like, nah, you know, remember I'm in pain, my scalp is in pain. And she's asking me to pull my hair like maybe up here and you slip better. I mean, my, like you could see my veins on my face. And I was like, nah. She was like, okay fine, let's tie it behind here. So she had to tie my hair at the back, And then she told me, like, if you want to ease up the pain, you have to take some painkillers, and a day or two it will be okay. So I went to the pharmacy that late and I got some painkillers. I mean, I was in pain, but like I already wasted my money, my time, and everything else in between. Like, I mean, I would not let the braids out. So when I arrived at home with my aunt, okay, sadly I have stopped talking about my aunt because like I had to include a little bit in the story. But like, you know, if you guys want to know what actually happened to my aunt with her relaxed hair burning, I mean, I would explain into another video, but like I am now concentrating on what happened to me mostly. Because like, so I remember going back with my aunt at home, and she was asking me like, how is my, you know, my new braids doing? And I was like, I was in pain, so I took some painkillers. But like from that day I swear not to go back there. I mean, because the lady the next day, she called me. She was like, how are you doing? I mean, with the hair and everything. Are you okay? Did you sleep better? I did not sleep better. Like, I had a pillow on my head, here, on my neck. Like, I would put it right there. Didn't sleep that night. I just had to. By then, I used to have an old friend who, right now, she actually doesn't live where I live. So we used to call each other, like even if it was late we could just gossip and shit, and then, you know, talk some girl shit, you know, all that girl stuff. But so she was the one that kept me company that night. But I regretted going to that hair salon. But you know, you live to learn something. So I actually had to learn something, you know, like sometimes you don't get the great things unless you get the bad ones, per se. So anyways, the next day I just had to do a little massage on with a very warm cloth on my edges. But I regretted going there. Like I would never go back there. I mean, the salon is still, I think it's still there, I guess. I haven't checked it out, but like I guess she moved to another area. But I think the salon is still there. It's just like maybe there's another hairdresser there. But ever since then I never went back there, and that's what happened to me. And I got to really learn something out of it. I mean, it was one among my worst experiences. I mean, I have had other experiences, but like that was one among the most top 3. I would say one of my top best worst experiences when it comes to hair braiding. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and share with your friends. And in case you are still hesitating to subscribe, really, what are you doing watching all this time? Just subscribe, and I'm sure you would, if this is not what you are actually looking for, you get something else that is very interesting. So see you, and peace.